Yo, what the deal? It's your boy X.E.L.O. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you. Yes, thank you for coming back. But if you are new here, please do me a favor and like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so that I let you know when I drop another video. I'll be doing a lot more videos on this channel, so definitely be prepared for that. I actually did a poll, right? So this poll shows a whole bunch of different DAWs that I will actually want to try to cover instead of Cakewalk, because we all know the Cakewalk debacle right now is that it doesn't have a set price and it's only the BandLab subscription in order to actually get Sonar and Nex. So I decided, let's see if we can venture out and see about other DAWs. So I gave a poll, and this is the poll. This is what it looks like. And for some reason, everyone is picking FL Studio. And I'm not 100% sure why, because there are other DAWs out there, but this is why I kind of made Cakewalk videos from the beginning, is because everybody just thinks FL is the only way to make beats or the only DAW that's out there to use. And it's not necessarily the only one out there. You know, there are other things out there that are actually really good, and in some cases better than FL Studio. Yes, I said it. Seeing that the census right now, everybody's saying FL Studio for the next video. Here we are. We're going to be doing FL Studio. Hope you guys are prepared for this. It's a great DAW. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to actually point out some things inside here when I'm actually using it. Let's go. All right, so here we are in FL Studio. This is a theme that I kind of created in here. It's like a bluish, grayish theme. I like it. My setup is a little different from other people's. I like to have my little arranger and playlist over here. I have my channel rack set up over here, and kind of just go down. I like to have my mixer at the bottom. So I'm almost making it like I would almost any of my other DAWs. My browser is on the left hand side, and I also have a big meter on the right hand side. What's really cool about FL Studio, they have this thing that's called like the current track. So if your whatever track is playing, I can have it metering out over here, so I can kind of see what level that actual instrument is. I always thought that was really cool. If you also see my mixer, you know, the master's over here to the left, and over here I have my effects to the right, a compressor, a reverb, a delay, and a chorus. So those are usually the things that I put in any of my other DAWs. So I put them in FL as my startup as well. I've never really liked the fact that they had this mixer with all these channels down here. It's never been something that I really liked. Some people really like it this way. I don't necessarily like it that way. So this is kind of like a reason where you can actually patch things in. So it kind of gives you that feel in a way. So you have your mixer, like if you had a regular mixer on there on your table, this is kind of, I guess, the same philosophy that they wanted to use. And then you kind of have to patch your things into the mixer. It's not a bad idea. I think it's actually a really good idea, but it's just, I'm not a fan of the execution of it, but to each his own. So over here is the browser, so you can kind of browse things, and they have new options where you can kind of see your audio down here at the bottom. I think that's really cool. They have like the stem separation, which is always a plus as well. I think that's one of the better features that they kind of added in there, the stem separation. And they also have the option to kind of star your stuff now, so you could star your sounds, which I have not done. They also have like a cloud-based thing where you can kind of get sounds from online. I think this was a genius idea of them. And if you are a fan of this channel, you kind of understand where they were going. This is just like what BandLab was actually doing. Like, I think they like kind of copied some of the BandLab stuff, like, oh, that's a good idea to actually have our own sound. So BandLab has this same feature where you have your own BandLab sounds on the side, where you can download them easily into the DAW and use them however you want to. BandLab also has the stem separation. I guess they got that from, like, you know, the FL and kind of incorporating that inside of BandLab as well. So there's a lot of things that they kind of added the same. Even if you have like a BandLab subscription, you can actually release songs to major platforms and through BandLab as well. So inside of F.E.L, they went the route of actually using DistroKid. I think this right here is really, really good, and they make it a subscription base, so you actually pay for the samples and things that you use. And the mastering that they have in here is really, really cool as well. BandLab has the mastering online. They're really, really close right now in what they're actually delivering and what they're putting out there. So that's why I have some hopes and dreams for Sonar. So when Sonar actually does come out, I'm just hoping that it's priced right for people so they can actually be able to get it and afford it. I think Next is going to be something that does help out a lot of producers as well. I think that's going to be like the lower end of the chain, and the fact that it can actually go on Mac as well will help out a lot of people that are trying to decide what they want to do going forward. I think that it's taking a little bit longer than they expected it to take, because it's been over a year. Just to be honest and truthful, I think they should have just now talked about Sonar, right? So this would have been a perfect time, because I guess they may be even closer to finishing it, but now is the time when they should have started doing all the promoting and all the other stuff for Sonar. But you know, they announced it last year, and it's been a year of development for them. So we'll see what happens when it comes out. I've been watching Mike's channel. If you're a Cakewalk person, you've probably been watching his channel as well. And he's been talking about some of the things that they added in there as far as the BandLab subscription and being able to kind of use some of the Sonar stuff, Cakewalk Next as well. I think it's something very interesting that should come out of it. But this gives you an option inside of FL Studio to do, you know, you have your libraries, whatever packs and stuff that you have, and here is your plugins. So you have your plugins database where you can actually use and see your plugins, and here is your like projects of your current projects, things like that. So yeah, the browser is really, really cool. I like it. I think it's very easy to do things in here. So I think this is going to be more of like I guess a beginner's tutorial inside of FL Studio. I think that'll be a little bit easier, seeing all the talking I've been doing. All right, so let's say that you wanted to add a sound. So let's go to my 808s here, and I'm gonna go to this one, right? And if I right click on it, it'll give me an option to send to the selected channel. So as you see, this channel right here is selected. So it'll send it to this channel that way, or you can open up a new channel, which is usually what people would like to do. So you have an option to open up the channel, and it shows you what is inside of the channel. So what's really cool about FL Studio is every single track is like a sampler. This is the way I think about it, because I have the sample here. I can manipulate the sample. I could do crossfades. I could do an in for it and change the in, change the out of the sample, right? So it gives you a whole lot of tools that you can use right from here on the front screen, right? So you could change the pitch of it right here. You could do your time stretching for your pitch up and down. You also have a sampler rate, so you could change the mode of how the sample is actually played right here. You also have other tools for like other effects that they used to have before, so they added those back in here, which is always cool. So you have an option to do like a reverb, a stereo delay. You can even boost up the sound, right? So you have that option in here. You can kind of do like an EQ for it. You can do some cuts and resonance on there. And it doesn't like stop there. You have other options up here where you could go and actually manipulate the sound even further. Most people are familiar with actually taking off like the attack, putting the hold all the way up, taking down the decay, the sustain, and the release. So what this does is it gives you a nice little 808, right? So this gives you that option when you're actually putting it inside the piano roll to make it a lot easier for you to do slides and other things like that from your kick, right? And you also have like some LFO things here, so you could change the way it is actually played. You could use your filters and modifications in here. It's super, super cool. You could change the pitch right here for the main pitch. You could add it to keys. You can even do like a fine tuning that will change it, right? So you have an option to change whatever that main note is, and you always have an option to reset here. Also has option for just panning. You have volume, you have modifications, right, for your X and Y, and you also have a pitch option here as well. So you could change the pitch right from here. I mean, they thought of a lot of really good elements inside of FL Studio to make it work cohesively. And then you hit on this wrench, and this is where you can like adjust different things for pan, mod. It's kind of like the other screen, but it's just a little more streamlined. You have a polyphony option here, so you could take off the polyphony of the sound and make it into like one or a mono, right? And you have a portamento option here as well. You have option for your timing, for your volume keys. All this is really dope. And you also have like an echo, delay, and fast mode. This was what I used to really love about this tool. I used to use this echo to do kind of like a ping pong effect. Really easy to my hi-hats. And just, you know, just add a little feed up a little bit and it'll do it. I thought it was always really dope. You also have an option to do chords right here inside of the arpeggiator. So you have an option to go up or down on the arpeggiator and different randomizers that you can use. And here is a range and your repeats. So like every single track is a sampler. Like I just thought that was always really, really cool. That you could do that. So you also have an option, instead of just doing it that way, you can just grab the 808 and drag it into the playlist, right? And you can put it wherever you want. If you want it in between, you can add it in between, right? So if you want it on the bottom, you can add it on the bottom, right? Or you can even add it straight into your playlist. So if I wanted to add my 808 in here, now my 808 is on the playlist, and it brings me to another section, which is just the audio. You still have your option to kind of edit the sound, or you can just go right here to the wrench. It doesn't give you as much options as it does if you're using it like as a MIDI, but you still have some options to change and edit the actual sound itself straight from the audio. So if you want to bring back all the stuff, you can go to all, and now you'll see that you have all the stuff back on here, right? But if you have noticed, like if I hit a key, everything is just going straight to the master. There's nothing going to a channel. You have to actually assign each thing to a channel. The only way to do that without doing the channel would be to right click in here, and then you would add your sound. So you would make an instrument track or audio track, right? So this is how you would actually do it. To, let's say I do FL keys. Let's make it easy, right? It puts it right inside the channel rack. It makes the actual FL keys here, and it sends it down to the mixer. So you have all of those things set up just from clicking it inside of the arrange list. So this will stay as the arrangement for whatever the FL keys you're gonna do, right? And that's usually the only way to actually get things into the playlist automatically. Otherwise, you have to actually assign the things to a playlist. So if I wanted to have like this first one that I did here, I can open it up and I can hit on track, and it'll send it to the next available track. I think that's probably the easiest way to do it. If you right click on here on the keys, it gives you an option to do the piano roll, which is what everybody kind of is in awe of. And they make it really easy for you to add notes. You can just click inside here one time, you can add a note, you can drag it out, right, to whatever you want to bar wise. The next key that you put in here will be this same exact length. So if I click another key, it'll be the same exact length. So if I shorten this, right, the next key I put in here will be the length of that. So that's one of the things that people really love about you know, the whole FL Studio experience. So I'm holding down control and scrolling over with the left mouse wheel, the left mouse. So now you have this little arrow thing here, right? So this will give you an option to kind of shrink your stuff if you wanted to shrink it, or you can expand it out, right? They made this really, really easy to kind of do. I think it's very intuitive. I like it a lot. You also have a whole lot of tools that you can actually use. If you go to the tools section, they have like a riff machine, quick legato. So basically you can legato your notes, and it gives you the shortcuts to them as well. You have an option for like arpeggiator, the humanize. They just added this humanize option in here. Note repeater. So they have a couple of different things that you can add in here. And they also have the option to do Python scripts inside of FL Studio. So if you're a person that does no coding, you should be able to use Python inside of FL to kind of do whatever you're trying to do inside the DAW. They have the quick chop, which everybody does talk about as well, like the Control U and the Alt U to kind of do that. You have an option to glue stuff together. You have the arpeggiator, the strum option to strum your notes. So flam is basically like if you're doing drums, it's like a little hit before the hit actually comes in. Claw machine, limit, flip, so you can flip the sounds around, and randomize. You can randomize like your velocity and things like that. But see, as you just saw, like if you hit inside here and you want to do something else, it's going to create a key. So it is something that you have to get used to if you're coming from another DAW. Usually other DAWs are a double click in order to actually add a note. So you have to get used to that if you're going to come to FL Studio. And here is how an option to like go to different steps to change your grid for your piano roll. So this little magnet up here, right? And this here is to lock your stuff in place, to snap to scale, I should say. I don't know if it's on or off. All right, so it doesn't look like it's on. All right. Yeah, so now it's on. So it doesn't really distinguish whether it's on or off, which is kind of interesting. But right now it's on, so I can only put it on notes that are within the scale. It will not allow me to put it on this B because it's not in scale, right? So that's also really cool. And they just added that on the last update. It was something that I thought was really missing from FL Studio as well. I'm just glad they actually put it in there now. The only thing about FL Studio that I wasn't necessarily a fan of is like their shortcuts, and there's no options to change those at all. So whatever they have set to do something is what you have to use inside that DAW. I'm so used to Reaper where I can change whatever I kind of want to. Cakewalk also gives you those options to kind of change things in there as well. Cakewalk also has the scripting options that you have for XE.L scripts. So I think they're really even in a lot of ways. It's just you have to get used to the FL Studio method or way of doing things. So yeah, this is kind of what I wanted to cover in this video. So if you guys want to see more in-depth FL Studio videos, let me know below in the comment section. It was my favorite DAW for a very long time. I thought the piano roll was like undefeatable, but I have found a champion. And it's not FL Studio, just to let you guys know. I think when they come out with the option to do the chords, I think it might become the champ again. But until that actually happens and they actually release it to the public, right now it's probably second. But yeah, but with that being said, I want to thank you guys for actually watching this video. Let me know, like I said, if you want me to do some more FL Studio videos, if you wanted me to do Luna, Cubase, Ableton is on the list as well, Traction Waveform. So any of those DAWs, I do have them available to kind of show you guys some things inside them. I even have Bitwig as well. So if Bitwig is one of those ones that you wanted me to kind of test, make sure you guys are leaving it below in the comment section. Make sure you are liking and subscribing to the channel. We are almost at 10K subscribers on this channel. I appreciate every single person that has liked, subscribed, or left a comment on any of my videos to bring me to this point where I am now, right? But with that being said, that's the end of this video. And once again, it's your boy, X.E.L.O. Until next time, people. Peace.